there.
Right.
And then we have to open this up. Hello, I think we are live. Let us know if you can hear us.
We've never been good at this, ever. We've always had technical difficulties.
I don't know if we're actually live yet.
YouTube is not receiving enough video. Oh, okay.
There we go. No, we're live.
We are live.
Hello, I think we are live.
Uh-oh.
Way behind.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Where's the chat so I can see him? I got old man eyes.
Need our beer.
Thank you.
What kind of beer is that?
Cosmic soup. You can try this one and try that one, and whichever one you like better is for you.
Alright.
Okay, sweet. So, full disclosure, we are using Starlink, and there will be dropouts where we'll probably pause with a funny face on for 10 seconds, and then it'll come back. So, that's from our experience what happens doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can make the chat box bigger, but you can't make the text bigger.
Well, that's not good. Anyway, we can use it here.
Yeah.
Just give us a couple minutes to get everything figured out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying a new system where we have the camera hooked up to the streaming stuff. So hopefully the audio is better than if it came through on the computer. But we also have to look at the camera and not the laptop. We're
totally.
so out of practice.
Out of practice.
Yeah.
All right. Katie, what are we going to talk about on our live stream?
Anything.
You guys have any questions? We have not rehearsed any of this. We're just basically cracking a beer and answering questions and just chilling.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Friday night.
No, it's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Is it?
Saturday.
Yeah, I work today, so.
Yeah.
What do we got here? We have people from Montana, Alabama, Malaysia, Texas, Jamaica, Kentucky, St. Louis. What else we got?
Jamaica.
Australia.
Nice.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
So cool.
Who has snow and who has nice warm weather?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. And who has signed up for the giveaway that we announced today with discount lots for Arizona? I'd love to hear how many people have entered that giveaway, and I think it said it was around 150 people last time I looked.
Which was a while ago.
Yeah.
But
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. It's a really awesome opportunity to give away free land. Even though it's not a whole ton of land,
yeah, it's
still giving away free land in the Cochise stronghold. Is that fair to say? That's where it is? It's the Cochise County. Which is actually a spot that I, years ago, looked at buying land. I was totally considering going to the United States and buying a good section of land out there because so many people live off-grid in that area, and their state laws, or county laws, I guess, are pretty lenient on off-grid living. So there's quite a few people that we watch on YouTube, actually, that are off-grid in that area. There's the Green Dream Project, which they're really cool. They're building a, what do you call it?
Earth bag house.
Earth bag house, yeah. And they're such hard workers. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. And they're doing everything with like recycled materials. Like they got coffee cans that they cut up into shingles for around the roof, which is really cool.
I appreciate their level of patience as well. Have you guys leave in the comments if you guys have seen the Green Dream Project? Yeah. There is what's the one, tiny shiny little house or whatever?
Yeah, Shiny Tiny Home.
Shiny Tiny Home. It's a family building, again, an earth bag home out there. Yeah. There's Handyman. He's in that area. He's got an off-grid property out there. Yeah. Lots. And if you're into rock climbing, it's a pretty cool spot too. That's one of the reasons why I originally was thinking of moving out there. Yeah. The other reason is they don't get much for snow, which we do. Yeah. Which we've been dealing with quite a bit today and yesterday and tomorrow.
Which will be coming up in the next video.
For sure, yeah.
So someone's asking what the next project is going to be. Laundry. We have a mountain of laundry. Greg just put on his last pair of fresh underwear.
Yes.
I think I'm getting pretty close.
Yep.
So tomorrow we're going to be trying to get the washer hooked up so that we can get our laundry done. I just really don't want to go to the laundromat because it always ends up costing us like
it's expensive.
$35, and then it's a whole day that you're there, and people give us looks because we take 5 washers and dryers up.
Totally.
And then people have to wait, and yeah, I just want to do laundry at home, so that's going to be the next project. And then we do have the gas dryer, but we need to order the
orifice.
Yeah, to switch it over to propane.
Switch it over to propane.
And then that'll be good. And yeah, laundry, ceiling. I really want to get the ceiling done as well, but we have something else that has to get done before the ceiling can go up. And we also have to buy the ceiling still, which is...
We have to buy the ceiling. We have to stay in the ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have, like Katie said, there's something that we need to do before we put the ceiling up. Have we said what we're doing? Or we're going to keep it a mystery?
We might have. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's a mystery, but it's coming up soon as well.
We got a super chat from the Crockers.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Oklahoma's perfect for off-grid. Yeah, I bet. Isn't it in Tornado Alley, though? I wonder if that is...
Says someone in like Forest Fire Central.
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
Everything is, you get the drawbacks everywhere you go.
Yeah. Someone's asking why we haven't sided the house yet. There's a couple of reasons why we haven't sided the house yet. One of them is we haven't really decided what we want to do. We did get some siding from a job that Greg did, just some leftovers for a really good price. But I mentioned in a video recently that it's baby blue, and I just really don't want to have a baby blue house. And it's not going to cover everything, so we have to figure out what we want to mix that with, and also financial constraints. We don't have the money to shell out for that right now.
The bottom line for us this year was getting into the home.
Yeah, and out of the bus.
And out of the bus. Thank goodness.
Yeah, which we did it.
Yeah, we did it. Just by the hair of our chinny chin chin, though. We got the skirting on just in time. We got the water in the ground just in time, Yeah, and we were actually trying to get the bus out of here to its new home before the snow, but... Yeah, not happening.
Ever since I've lived here, the snow has come like middle of December, and... This year was middle of November, so...
Oh, it was early November, yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm trying to read some comments. What do we got going on here? Yeah. What about the window trim? That's a good question. I can't wait about the window trim is going to be wood that we milled. We have it milled. It's sitting underneath the tarp right now.
Covered in snow.
Covered in snow. But it's dry. It's under a tarp.
Yeah.
We have to process that, get it to a common thickness through the planer, and then we'll probably be doing that this winter. I was actually just looking at some of the windows and thinking like we should do a couple mock-ups and just try. We want to use as much of our milled wood as possible in our house, so that we kind of feel that energy of knowing where that tree came from and having that inside the home.
Yeah.
We don't want this place to look too modern, and it's real easy to make a modern home when you build brand new.
Yeah.
So we want to have some soul in the house, and that's definitely part of our plan for the window trim.
We knew the kitchen was over our pay grade, so that's why we purchased that.
Other than in an earlier video, I had a friend come and help me put in some ground plumbing. And we had another friend help with a bit of drywall. Katie and I have built this house with our own 2 hands. And the other person who's helped us is the guy who put this countertop on. Yeah. But other than that, it's been just Katie and I learning on the fly. I've got construction experience, but I am by no means a home builder or electrician or plumber or any of that stuff. But I've done tons of research into all of it, and I feel very confident with everything that I've done. So, yeah.
Someone's asking how close are the neighbors. So we've got one neighbor that lives up here, and then there's another person that lived out here before, but they ended up leaving, and I think he moved on to a family member's property or something. So you might see in our drone shots there's some like small kind of tarp buildings near us. So that's
which is turning into a garbage dump. But
abandoned.
Bears have thrown everything around down there, and
yeah. So then the neighbor that lives up here, we're great friends with, and we always help each other, and we love them, and they're pretty close.
Yeah.
But
they're a shout away. There's a lot between us. But if any of you live off grid, you'll know what I'm saying. When you need a neighbor, it's good to have a good one. Yeah. My neighbor has a bulldozer, which is awesome, because that was actually part of why we bought this land. Is when we bought it, the guy up here was like, well, let's give me a couple bucks and we'll develop this. My machine's right here. So it worked out really well for us in that respect, for sure.
Yeah, and then he borrows our tractor or snow plowing, stuff like that.
And if I need someone to go have a beer with, I got my neighbor all the time, anytime he's around. So it's we have a really good relationship with our neighbors up here. And
in fact, he gave us elk steak, which we just had before this live.
Yep, for sure, and it was delicious. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
What am I drinking? I'm drinking some beer. It's Cosmic Soup by Parallel 49.
Oh yeah, I was gonna try that one.
What else have we got here? Why don't I think that Katie is marrying material?
I've been asking the same question.
I've been asking the same question. Where's my ring, Katie? Or which hand does it go on? Where's my ring?
The thing is, if you were wearing a ring, it'd be covered in tar and
dirt and chicken poop and goat crap and all this good stuff that we get to play with up here. Well, you need a shop you can work in during the winter.
Yeah.
That is the truest thing I've heard all day. It is brutal trying to do anything out here in the winter.
Yeah.
Like an oil change on a vehicle or maintenance on the tractor or any of that stuff. We need a shop bad.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure out exactly where we're going to put it. I have a pretty good idea and how big it's going to be and if it's going to be enclosed. We don't have a plan for a shop yet, but I'm pretty sure Katie and I can sit down on the computer for a couple days and whip something up on SketchUp.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out.
Yeah, because we also want to build like a guest accommodation that's attached to it somehow or in the same general area.
Yeah.
Kind of close to the house. But
you can tell we're double income, no kids, and sorry, it's gonna stay that way. We built a 1-bedroom, 1,000 square foot home.
Yeah. With
a utility room that's gonna have a pull-out couch or like a little click-clack bed or something for someone to sleep in if they had too many drinks or something at our place. But that's for now. We are going to have a guest accommodation close to our home, and I'd like to do like fully our milled wood for that.
Yeah.
Build it small enough that it doesn't take our whole life to build.
Yeah.
And then eventually what we'll be doing is we'll take our electrical stuff, like our batteries and all that, and we'll put that into the guest cabin. Because the inverter that we have here, I can hear it humming right now, and it doesn't bug me that much, but it's not ideal. And if there ever was an issue with our batteries, which they're fairly safe, and we've got them set up safely, but if there ever was an issue, it sure would be nice to not have them inside the home.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah. What else do we have here? We have a nice house. Thank you, Roy Hill.
Have we had to haul water yet? Yep, we did. I think in a few videos ago where we got our cistern in the ground, we had to haul water. We were trying to figure out a way to keep our water line going so that we could use that. Like we have our Anchor portable power stations that we hook up to the pump sometimes when there's not enough solar power coming in. Mm-hmm. But the snow just came so early that we didn't get a chance to get the line figured out. And so we're hauling the water in. And now that we've got the leak that was in the cistern fixed, there's so much water.
Which it's still fixed, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much water in there still. Like we're hardly going through any at all, which is such a relief because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and they're pretty expensive, brand new. I'm really glad. Like that video where we were putting that in the ground, there was a lot that I didn't film because I was frustrated. I was missing work. Like, I missed a half a week of work because I had to get that thing in the earth.
Yeah.
And I was using tools that are not meant to weld plastic. So for those of you who watched that video, you saw that I put a patch on the outside. I also put a huge patch on the inside as well, and it's solid.
Yeah.
So super happy that worked out for us. We don't have any leaks now coming from that thing. Yeah. And we save so much time and energy. So yeah. Next year, so one of our next hasn't really been that bad.
Yeah.
From our little water source down the road, but
yeah. How is the solar keeping up with our batteries, and do we have to run the generator a lot? We run the generator a lot in the winter because there's a mountain and the sun just barely comes over the mountain. So we don't get a lot of sun. So there's a lot of generator, but we do want to upgrade our solar system, get more batteries, more panels, so that we can utilize more of the sun when it does come out.
Yeah, can I add something?
Yeah.
Where we are, it's almost always socked in December, January. February comes around a little bit.
Yeah.
But these months are just, we get a little bit, but we just have to be patient. And we don't spend that much money on fuel. We're pretty efficient when we charge our batteries, and usually we're pretty good with power, though we have everything on right now, but all LED, so it doesn't actually take a lot of energy to keep it lit up in here. But solar panels next year. I'm sure we want to do 4,000 watts just to kind of see how that goes, and then we might try to double that. It'd be really awesome to have 8,000 watts. I see some off-grid people with like 20 kilowatts like panels, which is huge, just walls of solar panel, which would be so cool, but I don't have 100 G to drop on solar.
Yeah. And actually the panels we have are used from California solar farms, I think.
Yeah. So
we got them for pretty cheap, but they are getting old.
They're probably losing a bit of, they probably have lost some efficiency because they've been around, but.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
We can't really add to them. We kind of have to like replace everything, so it's gonna be a big expense. We thought we found batteries for $800 recently
on Alibaba.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Yeah, luckily we got our money back. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Yeah. Though these lights are nice, and they were $30. These ones that we just installed. So
yeah.
I'm just looking.
How much snow do we have? I think we got about a foot in the last snowfall overnight.
Easy foot. Yeah, it was more like 14 to 16 inches. Yeah. Which is stressful because there's a certain point, it gets warm, where my plow doesn't push it. So I have to get on it immediately. Like I got up early in the morning in this last snowfall, like 5 in the morning on a Saturday. Yeah. And you had to jump the plow truck because the battery's tired in it. Put the plow on, and luckily everything worked out without really a hitch, but there's always something that breaks on snow days. So we got lucky this time.
Yeah, I mean that plow is stood up to a very rough road, and actually over the summer they graded it. So last year our road was so bad with all the potholes and everything, but they had logging or something up above, so they graded the road, and it's been such a nice road to go on again.
LED bulbs can make you feel depressed. Is that true?
I don't know.
I feel good because these LED bulbs are in my brand new house.
Yeah. And compared to the bus, it was so dark in the bus.
Yeah, it was dingy.
We used the bus lights,
the existing lights that were,
and we put LED bulbs in them, but it was just so dark that this is great. And we were even worried that we didn't have enough lighting in here, so maybe we overdid it. I don't know. I think it's nice.
I think it was perfect. Yeah. I don't think we overdid it at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't cast weird shadows when you walk around. I think it's great.
Yeah.
One question was, what kind of flooring are you going to put down?
Well, we've got the flooring back there, and it's engineered hardwood that we got I think before we even had walls.
Yeah,
but it was half price. So.
We got a deal on some flooring before we had a ceiling. Yeah. I mean, sorry, before we even had a roof or walls. I don't even think we had a second floor. We had the flooring in here, which we've been moving around and moving around and moving around so we can keep building. Yeah. And we're getting so close to being able to put it, like, to install it. And, it's going to look so nice.
I don't want to do it too soon, though. I really don't want to, like, be cutting wood on it and scuffing it up. And,
we're getting to the point where it's just about time for floor.
After
ceiling, the other thing, and the floor.
Yeah.
So.
Has the skirting worked to keep the pipes from freezing? Yeah, it's been amazing.
Is it on this? Yeah, I'll tell you what the temperature is underneath our house. I would say it's probably -7 or 8 centigrade right now outside.
Yeah.
And the temperature in the house and underneath have been within 3-4 degrees consistent. It's so easy to keep it comfortable in here.
Yeah, like around 20 degrees.
Thanks to over insulating the house,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Which has been an adjustment because when we were in the bus with the wood stove, it would just be like 30 degrees. Actually, it'd be 16 degrees on your feet. Then it would go up to like 20, 25, and then it would be 30 at the top in the ceiling. And we just kept it super warm in there all the time because it was
wear snow pants and no shirts, like because it was hot up top and cold down below.
Yeah, so it's nice to have just a steady temperature.
You can see right here. It's
maybe.
Can you see right here?
I don't know. It's hard to.
I don't know. Anyway, it's 10.6 degrees in the basement. Crawlspace. It's 10.6 degrees, and it stays at that same temperature all the time. It hit -14 the one night, and I checked this, and it was 10 point something degrees. It stays 10 degrees underneath there because we don't have our floor insulated yet. But that was kind of our experiment to see, like, without insulation in the floor, how hot does it stay underneath? Now we have insulation in our skirting, mind you, not a whole ton of insulation.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's like the floor never feels cold. It's not drafty in here, not typically.
Yeah.
We have a door upstairs that doesn't like the wind, but pretty happy with it. We're not even properly insulated in our skirting underneath because we couldn't get any more of that Reflectex. So
so it's
so far so good.
No frozen pipes. Same with the walls too. The pipes aren't freezing in the walls.
Oh yeah, I wasn't worried about that in the first place.
No.
Yeah, but back to the pipes underneath. We are going to insulate the floor. We are going to insulate because it's, a little bit more efficiency wouldn't hurt us. Yeah, so, but I don't think we're going to insulate it around where the wood stove is so that heat can penetrate below and heat up the crawl space. In fact, we're going to be putting tile around the wood stove, and that thermal mass should take the heat from the wood stove and transfer it nicely down below.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Yeah.
Really happy with how everything's working so far.
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got?
Someone's asking about the washed out road. They want a video to show us the state of it. The culvert problem been resolved. So, for those that don't know, a few years ago we had a rain on snow event. There was just huge rainfall. There's still snow in the mountains, and all this water came down and washed out the culverts above our driveway. So there was a road that went up and then our driveway, and washed all the water down our road. And it was a pretty big deal. It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a battle, but we kind of gave up on the battle because
it's just wasted energy at this point in time.
Yeah, dealing with the government, trying to figure out what we can do with the road.
It's an expensive fix to fix the culverts.
Yeah.
Liability comes to play if there's anyone that hurts themselves for some reason on the new culverts. It's just the way that the government kind of looks at things. Yeah. Not to get too thick into that kind of talk, but they want to. Yeah, it's we can get home right now. We just gotta not live in fear and just do our due diligence. If there's anything we can do to keep our access open,
Well, in my mind, we've tried, and if they want to work with us, they can work with us.
We've got documentation of everything that we've talked about.
So it's just, yeah, it's too much of a battle to keep fighting when we're trying to do this and be happy.
I like this question. Can you explain why a man would wear a hat inside the house? So my hairdresser...
It's me.
I've been forcing her to cut my hair because one day she's going to get good at it, but she's not good at it yet.
No. I think I'm better than the guy you were going to before, though.
Hey, he tells me the same story all the time. He's like a 90-year-old guy. Tells me about living on a pickle farm with a big stinky old billy goat that used to chase him. So, and I get that story all the time because he doesn't remember that he's told me that story every time. Anyway.
Do we have family visit? Yeah, we do have family visit. Greg's mom and sister and dad and brother came. My mom hasn't been here for a little while, but hopefully soon. She was going to come, but now it's too cold and she lives in New Mexico, so it's not fun for her to come here in the winter. So hopefully in the spring we can get her down here or up here. But yeah, we have family visiting all the time, so it's nice. And it'll be even nicer when we have guest accommodation where they can be a bit more comfortable than just camping out in our yard.
Mm-hmm. One of the questions is, do you lose any heat by not having window coverings? And yes, we do. Mm-hmm. If you go build a house, take a large amount of money and buy good windows. This is one of the biggest drawbacks. Like this was our mistake, a real mistake on this home.
Yeah.
As we bought windows that were one step above the cheapest that you can get, basically.
Well, I think they were just the cheapest.
Oh, really? Well,
but I didn't know. I've never bought windows.
I've never bought windows either, and I figured it'd be fine. The
guy didn't upsell us. So.
He did not upsell us. Well, anyway, yeah, the windows aren't great. Aren't great, but they're not that bad. They do what they need to do, but I really look forward to getting some window coverings on the windows and the sliding glass doors and whatnot, so yeah, it'll help a lot. That being said, this wood stove's got us covered. Like, it's so comfortable in here.
Yeah, totally.
It's weird because it's so level. The temperature is completely level everywhere. You go into the next room that's away from the wood stove and it's the same temperature. Yeah, it's nice. It's very happy.
Yeah. Someone's asking when the bus is leaving, so we were trying to get the bus out like a month ago, I guess, but we're still kind of living in there. We didn't quite have everything ready in the house to get rid of the bus, and then it snowed, so we do have someone who wants to buy it, but we just can't get it out of our road right now because it's too slippery. And
you can't get to our place with a car. Not a chance right now. You need a four-wheel drive. That's even when I plow. You need a four-wheel drive with good tires to get here right now. So in the spring the bus will be going because I know the buyer is going to want to use it. So it's going to go to our friend's mom, and they are developing a property as well. So she will have a nice place to go and hang out with her family, and I'm just glad that it's going to someone who's going to enjoy it because it's been comfortable. It's been great. We complain about it because we've spent 3 winters in it and 4 summers. Yeah. Which has been brutal on both sides of the hot and cold spectrum. But it worked. Yeah. It gave us the opportunity to live up here. So.
Yeah, and actually someone's mentioning it as guest quarters, but the problem with the bus is it's so long and skinny and awkwardly shaped for our land that. Mm-hmm. We want to use that space. That's kind of like our primo yard space. Yeah. And so, we want to get it out. We wouldn't be able to get it to our lower property because it's too windy and steep. So it'll be better for us to build guest accommodations where we can fit it to the land a bit better than with the bus.
Plus, it makes good content. Yeah. Building a guest cabin is going to be fun. It's not going to be as serious as building this house where we have to do everything completely perfect. We can take some artistic flair to it and maybe we can play around. We don't even need to follow a plan or anything for the guest cabin because we can just have fun with it. Yeah. So What else do we have here? What about radon is one of the questions, and that's actually a really good question. If some of you don't know what radon is, it's actually a very like hazardous gas that comes from granite.
Granite, I think. Yeah.
Granite, and we have lots of granite in the area, and radon is actually a concern. I haven't taken a radon meter underneath the house yet, but it's definitely on the list of things to do because it is a hazardous gas. I think it's like the second leading cause of lung cancer is radon exposure. But radon, it's easy to mitigate if we do have overabundance of radon like coming from the ground, especially in this stage of the build. So I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. What else do we have here?
How do we drink the muddy water? It's delicious.
Actually, it's amazing. It really is. It looks muddy only because where we're pulling it from a creek, I just bury the intake into the sand basically, and it always pulls up some sand. Yeah. But our water license is super clean. Yeah. We take it. I'm gonna say we take it 20 feet from where it pops out of the ground, because there are other springs that come out of the ground as well that build up enough flow so that we can continuously pull from the spring. So that water is delicious straight from the ground, at least when it's running well. We have been sick from it before because we weren't filtering it very well and we were just drinking it from the tap. And Katie and I had the scoots for like 2 weeks and we were like, what's going on? We know what was going on. So I had to go down to that water, to our spring, and I had to do something with a bear probably bit into the line or something. And I looked in the mud and there were like bugs everywhere where we were pulling water from. So yeah, that's another thing. You know, we've got systems in the house that are temporary. We need to get a good filtration system and a UV light filter, I guess. Is that what it's called? Yeah. We don't need anything fancy. We probably just need 2 filters, like a 20 micron and a 5 micron, and then a UV light. And then I would be happy to drink water anywhere from the tap. We don't have a lot to take care of when it's just, water coming from the ground. It's not what's the word, standing water. So we don't have any our beavers in our creek or anything, or it's fairly clean water except for the bugs in the fall that hibernate in the mud. Yeah. So, how did you both meet each other?
Well,
I'll let you take that one.
So I got a job at a store, and my manager was Greg's mom, and I saw a Volkswagen van out the window, and she was standing near me, and I said, "Oh, look at that van! It's so cool! Like, I really want one." And then she was like, "Oh, you should meet my son." So she took me over to his house later that day.
And that was the first time we dated, mind you. Yeah. We lived a life without each other. 12 years ago. Yeah. Was it only 12 years ago, or was it longer?
So. Something like that.
Anyway.
So we dated for a few months, and then life led us in different directions, and then
we still stayed friends.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then I guess it was 2016. I had moved to this area to go to the college, and I had a little apartment with 2 bedrooms, and I was trying to find a roommate, and Greg ended up messaging me and said, "Hey, I'm moving to the area. Like, do you know where I can look for a place to live?" And I said, "Oh, you can just rent my spare bedroom if you want." And then we were friends and roommates for
2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we decided that things were pretty good. Maybe we should try dating. And here we are.
That's an interesting way to put that. I don't think we're going to tell YouTube the story of what actually happened.
No.
But it was hot.
TMI.
Well, whatever. People want to know. It was good. And now we're in love still. Yeah. After 3 winters of living in a bus. Yeah. And developing a homestead. So things are good.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Starlinked for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. How's Juniper? She's a teenager. Or oh my goodness. I wish we could take the camera and point at her. Yeah. She's, when dogs sleep and they're doing that little shaky thing, she's got her legs up in the air and she's doing that shaky thing.
Yeah.
She's an angel and a pain in the ass at the same time.
Yeah.
Like any puppy is.
Yeah. She's pretty good. Like, she doesn't really wreck anything. She learns things pretty well, quickly. The only thing she does is when we walk from the house out to the yard, she will attack our heels, and I haven't quite figured out how to stop that yet. It's really annoying.
Do you want to hear something weird?
What?
There's 780 people on the other side of that camera lens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Public speaking. That's what this is now.
But this is so much better because there's no one standing there.
Totally. Yeah. I gotta say, we do this every time that we do a live stream. We read all the comments, and there's so much positivity. We thrive on that. It really helps us. I'm a super busy person. I work full time. Katie, luckily, has gone the route of full-time YouTube, and it's been really good for her, but I still have a job that I have a lot of responsibility to bring to the table. And then I'm trying to do this project at the same time, which I'm not complaining a little bit about it, but it's so easy to get amped up to do more work on our home when we get all these wonderful comments from you guys.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, thank you. It keeps us going a lot of the time because we're deflated. We're human. We get deflated for sure. And, when we're just sitting on our phones boobing out and we're reading some of the comments, it's just like, let's go do something. We're killing it. We're killing it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
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 For sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Reasonably priced raw land near us.
No such a thing.
Yeah, no, we're in Canada where everything is outrageously expensive.
Our real estate, like our inflation and everything here is just like,
yeah.
Don't buy land right now unless you have a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we connected to any other YouTubers? Not really. Like, we've got people that we talk to, but we're pretty hard into what we're doing here. I'd like to like expand our community and meet up with a couple of the people that we love to watch. Like, we have our Saturday morning routine where we watch, a few different YouTube channels, and they're not far from us, and it would be easy to reach out and just be like, hey, like, put us on a project somewhere else other than here, and we can, typically the people doing what we're doing, living off grid and homesteading and all this stuff, they're doers, workers, right? And if if you have someone that is capable comes and give you a hand, it's if that was the case for us and one of the people that we watch on YouTube wanted to reach out to us, come help us on the property, I'd make a list. Yeah. And we'd have a fun time doing work, So
yeah, we do have Mishi Goss. The channel is near us.
Yep.
We haven't run into her yet, but we did meet her dog one day.
Yeah.
Her hound that wanders.
Yeah, we went to some snazzy restaurant for a staff thing for work, and we identified a YouTuber's dog that was just a hound that had a GPS collar going on its own adventure in the mountains.
Yeah.
But
do you still ride your motorcycle to work in the winter?
In a perfect world, I would. One day that'll be the case, but
yeah, I
miss my motorcycle. My last ride this year on my motorcycle, I ran over a lag bolt and blew my rear tire, like right in front of a loaded school bus, and just barely held it together to pull over on the side of the road. I almost had an accident, so.
So we had to load up the trailer and get the bike home. So
now I need a new tire, but yeah. March.
Do we have a water source uphill? Any chance of doing micro hydro?
Man, you're way back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a well, kind of. We don't really have a water source uphill for all intensive purposes. Micro hydro is the gold standard of power off grid, and I don't believe that there's anywhere that we can do that properly because we don't have it on our land, and it's not something that you can easily set up on crown land, which is what we call, I guess, our BLM land in Canada.
Yeah, just the
is it the same kind of thing?
Land.
Public land, yeah.
Oh no, it bounced for me. So.
Okay, well, what else we got here? How far is the spring from our house? What's some number off the top of your head? We haven't actually pulled a tape measure, but I'm going to say 400 meters.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 450. Probably. Yeah, it's almost a half a kilometer.
But if we're going to run our water line along the road, it's probably going to be further, right?
I don't know if we're going to do that. We'll see.
We can't dig through the woods.
Yeah, we can.
No. It's going to be so hard.
It's going to be a lot easier than going your way.
Yeah.
How far is the spring from my house? So 450 meters, and I've always wondered why you don't rent a ditch witch and trench a year-round line. That's the plan. Yeah. Renting a ditch witch would not work with the 100-year-old trees that have roots digging deep into the earth around us, because we are fully like in the forest here. I've got that little backhoe in the back of my tractor that we're going to dig with, and we'll see how that goes. I might have to just get someone with an excavator in here and just get it done, you know. So I have connections for that, but it's a lot of money for sure to bring that up here. You know they make paint for your siding. They make paint for rock wool?
No.
Okay.
For the hardy board.
Oh yes, yeah. That okay, yeah. They do make paint, but we don't like the look of it. It's like wood grained hardy board. It looks cheap. Yeah. I kind of want to. I'm kind of leaning towards doing some like standing seam metal or something like that. So.
Yeah. Oh, someone clicked the like button. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already.
Totally. Starlink has been awesome. That's good.
Oh, nice. It has been pretty good lately.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's coming around.
I think even our like video calls with family have been pretty good. Actually.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, totally. I know you, but I hope you two tie the knot soon.
Just bring home the papers or sign it somehow.
Even if we got married, it wouldn't change how we feel about each other.
Yeah.
Truth?
Yeah. It would just be
thing. Yeah, totally.
What would you say the house has cost you to build so far, and when do we plan to finish exterior?
That's an exciting question, because nobody's actually asked us that.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But someone doesn't fill it out.
Just take all of my paychecks and then take maybe 20% off of them, and then it all goes to building. So,
well, we were at 70 grand.
Yeah.
So far.
We're at 70 grand so far. And that's check to check, where we're just basically paying from what we have.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that we're debt free, but we're damn close.
Yeah.
You know, relatively speaking, for building a home.
Yeah.
Because these hands and those hands are the ones working on everything. It's really been beneficial.
Because the bank doesn't like us.
Yeah. Whatever.
For some silly reason.
Well, it's tough. It's tough to buy raw land and do all that. So.
They don't like it, so.
But I like it. I like doing it this way. You know, I think, in total honesty, I think we're only like 35 grand in debt.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in a heated house on a beautiful kitchen. And,
yeah.
You know, it's awesome.
Yep. Do we have dual citizenship? No. We don't. Just straight up Canadians.
Straight up. For now.
What was our experience finding our land? Do you want to tell that story?
Yes. It's a long story. You guys have the time to listen?
I'm
gonna try to chop it down. But there's some real awesome parts of this. Okay, so I came to this region in 2015, 2014 or 15, one of those two, in the summertime, and I've always been a nomad. I've always traveled and worked 2 years here and moved to another spot, worked 2 years here, but I came to this region where we are, and I just knew, like, I just had to be here. This was what I wanted. And after work, I went rock climbing just by myself, just like on some big boulders that I had found in the forest, which was amazing. I looked up into the hills above those boulders, and I thought this would be the coolest place to have a tiny home. And that seed was planted in my heart. And the person that I was with at the time, she wasn't into that idea. She didn't want to come out here. She was, we were kind of at the tail end of our long-term relationship, and I still had this undying drive to come to our location here in southern BC, without being exact. So a few years later, I had an opportunity to make a lot of money on a Vancouver Island where I was living at the time. But I realized that right now was the time to make a big change in my life. So I took a humongous pay cut to come to the Kootenays, where we are. And it was the best move of my life, honestly. It really was. And I kept on looking around the area here, trying to figure out where the best place to have an off-grid property, because it's always been the plan. And literally my whole initial experience out here, where I was like looking up at a mountainside thinking, it would be amazing to live up there, that was like purely manifested in its entirety. I bought a bus when I was working up north. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just bought a bus and I just started renovating it. I didn't know if I was going to go traveling in it. I didn't really have any solid direction, but I was always kind of asking people if they knew of some land for sale that's, relatively cheap and unique. And just by chance, we found this place. I found this place, and I just pulled the trigger on it, and here I am. A few years later. So.
Yeah, and we managed to do vendor financing. So the couple that owned it agreed to.
They held our mortgage.
Hold the mortgage. Well, originally they were going to hold it until we had enough to go to the bank and get a loan, but she realized, we're making our payments on time, we're good people, and she could make money on the interest from holding the mortgage.
Our bank checked the assessment value, which was 12 years old. It hadn't been assessed in a long time, and they were going to give us half.
Give us half of that, which would have been 12
nothing.
grand.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was just okay.
Yeah.
So I went to the person that was, I guess it's rent to own kind of thing. Would that be a kind of vendor financing? She just said, you guys have been great with payments, and let's just see this thing through to the end. So.
Yeah, and that was amazing for them to do that for us.
Totally.
And also, they've been kind of mentoring us on farming, so they taught us how to do meat chickens and stuff like that. So
for sure.
Yeah, it was just a really awesome arrangement.
Yeah. Okay, we got to get into some of these comments here because we are way behind.
Are we doing Vlogmas? I thought about doing Vlogmas, but
it's a lot of work, and I'm still working full time, and it's just with Katie, but just by herself. It's It would be great.
I don't want to put out bad content, and I want to.
Yeah.
I just want it to be interesting, and I don't want to say I'm going to do something and then not do it, like the 2 videos a week. I kind of did that for a little while, and then it was kind of hard. So, I don't want to commit to that and then let everyone down. And also, I don't know, maybe when you're done work for the season, we can amp things up a little bit, because we'll be doing a lot more projects.
Totally. Yeah.
So maybe we'll do January, Vloguary or something. Okay. No.
It's okay, bud.
It's okay. No, that's enough.
Okay, I'm going to rip through a few of these questions, and I'm going to answer them quick. Any chance for a well in the future? Where our land is, there's very little chance that there's water anywhere close to where we are, because we're on a mountain. We're actually on an outcrop of a mountain. So there is water everywhere you go down if you go deep enough, but I don't think that that's going to be a viable option for us here, considering we're south facing on a pretty arid mountain. So I don't think we have a water license that's legally ours, and even though it's going to be a lot of work to get it hooked up, we're just going to do that. So is your wood miser an LT15? No, my mill is actually an LT10, and it's too small for the trees that we get around here. Yeah. As I'm sure you've seen in a couple videos, but
yeah, chainsawing it. Yeah.
Where are you located? We like to keep our location to ourselves a little bit. We're in southern BC.
Yeah. In the mountains.
In the mountains, for sure. Are you both originally from BC? I'm from Saskatchewan originally, which is a long time ago, because I've been here pretty much my whole adult life.
Yeah.
And Katie's a born and bred for sure.
Yeah. Vancouver Island.
Yep.
What channels do we watch?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. We watch all the like home build ones, like Wild Wonderful, Good Simple Living.
Ambition Strikes is my favorite.
Yeah, Ambition Strikes is really cool.
They're just south of the border in Iowa. Northern Iowa?
Idaho.
What am I saying? Iowa.
I don't know.
Have another beer, Greg. In Idaho. And they're awesome. They're killing it for sure.
We should go meet them.
Totally. They inspire me so much by how well they work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys, we're going to just plug it out there. If you haven't checked out Ambition Strikes, if you like what we're doing, you'll like these guys because they're like us, but both of them don't have jobs, and they're both cranking out awesome content, and they're so positive, and they're so capable. So yeah, check them out.
Nomadic Movement, I love. I love how they've gone to Panama and they're doing their thing down there.
Yep.
Michigas.
Who Michigas is a local in the area, and she has a sawmill, and she's building a cabin on like the edge of a cliff by herself, like way in the middle of nowhere. They have a big acreage. Yeah. So yeah, that's a few to check out if you guys want to see some other great content. But
oh yeah, Me and You Acres too. We watch them.
Totally.
I just saw their comment.
Yeah. The Crockers, for sure.
Yeah. Newts, why are you barking?
See, this is the kind of comment I love because I'm a roofer. I'm a roofer by trade. I'm good at my job, but I am not a plumber. I'm not an electrician. I'm not all of those things. And Ryan Baxley, watch a new video. I'm an electrician in the U.S. in South North Carolina. You did a good job on wiring the house. It's those little seeds that keep me going because I've researched the heck out of doing my own electrical, and I've tried to do such a good job because I don't want my house to burn down. I don't want to make any huge mistakes, right? So thank you for that comment. That goes right there. I wish. It's coming. It's coming. I'd love to. We have so many deer and elk and bear and turkey and like there's so much food in the forest. And I respect the populations of deer and elk around here, but it's I think it's a responsible way to eat for sure.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool because our neighbor gets an elk every year that we've lived out here. He has so far, just really close to us, and so we've always gone out and helped him kind of move it around and get it on the tractor.
Always a celebration.
One year we helped him skin it, which was a first for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure we can count on him to help us, or I want Greg to do the hunting and I'll do the cooking, maybe processing the meat, but yeah.
Someone asked, how young are we? Which I really like. That's the right way to ask that. I'm 20. I'm 20. I'm just kidding. I'm 36 years young.
Yeah, I'm 31.
Years.
30 or 31? I don't know.
Don't look at me, man. You're 31. You're 31.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. There's a question in, I don't know that language.
What happened to all the meat chickens? We processed them in September, I think. And I tried to make a video, but the footage was really bad, so I couldn't get anything out of it that was decent enough to publish. It's just hard because we did everything by ourselves, and it's a messy job.
You're covered in blood. It's not
really
glamorous by any means.
Yeah. So practicing filming and stuff, we'll be able to get something, or maybe we can get someone to help us film it while we do the work or something.
I think we should do a proper. I know you can go on YouTube and find tutorial videos, but we had it down. Like we had a really good. We work well together. Of course, you guys know that, but we had a really successful butchering season this year.
Yeah.
We it was our first time doing it on our own. But like Katie said earlier, the person who sold us the property, they actually kept our chickens in their barn for 2 years. Sorry, that's wrong. They kept our chickens in their barn 2 years in a row because a meat bird only lives about four months.
Yeah.
And then they showed us, how their old style way of butchering. So we should do a tutorial video in the future for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Editing software.
Premiere Pro.
Yep, we use Premiere Pro. She uses Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was using free stuff, but I felt like I outgrew that, so I'm pretty happy with Premiere.
Yeah.
Is there a reason we have not cut and milled more lumber for the house studs in particular?
We have Douglas fir around here, and I don't know if you guys have seen in any videos, but my I've got a good framing nailer, and I've had our headers, when I shoot a nail into it, it'll coil up the nail because the wood is so freaking hard.
Yeah.
And studs, it's just easier buying them. I hate to say it. I'd love to be so authentic and say everything is milled from our trees on our property, but it's just we just didn't have the time for it. I think when we build definitely when we build the guest house, we'll be using only our wood for sure. So
yeah, we were gonna try using milled stuff for the house, but we quickly realized that the wood was not gonna be easy to work with. It wasn't milled quality enough, and we didn't have enough of it.
Yeah, my mill's not sitting on a concrete pad, so when I take sometimes a 1,200-pound log and I push it on it, it throws it out of calibration. So
yeah,
that's one of the problems. We need to get it on a pad, but the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I feel like I've seen much of. You haven't seen much of those gorgeous goats lately. Let's bring them back. We still hang out with them all the time. We just haven't done any goat hike videos. Well,
it's usually hard with Juniper because she wants to herd them.
For sure.
So lately I've been walking with a stick that I can kind of push her away from them.
No.
Or push the goats to keep walking, because the goats will stop and then Juniper will go crazy and then we don't move. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to film.
We love those. I will speak for myself.
Yeah.
I love those goats.
Yeah.
More than Katie loves them.
Yeah.
But I was chasing them around the yard and playing with them tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. We can just let them out and they don't go anywhere.
They can't really ruin anything, so.
Yeah.
Do you have a rough pecking order of how you intend to finish the interior? That's a really good question.
I think up until this point, it's just been get the main
bare
utilities
essentials down. Yeah, for sure.
Get the kitchen so we can cook and eat and clean.
Mm-hmm.
The bathroom, we needed the water running so that we could at least wash ourselves and a place to go to the bathroom. And electrical.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all done now, and we can start working on the funner finishing stuff.
Finishing touches, and yeah.
It'll just be whatever we feel like doing.
Yeah.
We do have drywall that's been stacked up against the wall for months that I would like to get.
We got to get into the bathroom.
Yeah.
We're how we get clean is we have a shower head on a hose. And we lean down in the bathroom because we don't in the bathtub.
Can't splash up.
Because you can't splash up, and you just kind of lean down and get wet and scrub, and it's not luxurious by any means.
Yeah,
but
and it's not good for the interior either. Too.
No, just splashing water everywhere.
Waterproof, so.
Yeah, our bathroom. We need to just when I'm off work, we just need to bury our bodies in that bathroom until we can walk out after having a shower, basically.
Yeah, I've been kind of putting it off though because I'm not ready to pick the tiles and those big commitments to the design. I'm dreading picking them out because I don't know what I want. We have a Mexican sink, and that's kind
Katie's
of
bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have been looking for an antique dresser sort of thing that we can turn into a vanity. I think that would be really nice. Or I'm thinking chunky wood, a rustic vanity somehow. I don't know.
The success of building this house is me saying yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we both like the same things.
Yeah.
If we were to look at a swatch of 20 different colors, what color do you like? It's always the same one that I would pick.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's not this one that I'd pick, it's the one that Katie pick. And that's fine by me, so...
Yeah.
However you want your bathroom, we'll do it that way.
Oh, it jumped on me again.
Yeah. I hate looking at a phone. It feels weird in front of 800 people pretending like I'm on TikTok here. How long have we been married?
I don't know.
We're not
We don't
married.
even have an anniversary of like when...
We don't. Yeah.
Does anyone else do that? You don't have a date
I
that
think
you're like...
I think we got
been
together in April the second time.
Yeah.
I think. I'm
Something
not
like
sure.
that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. How many acres do we have? We've got 5 acres.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's mostly hill, and then there's rock cliff at the bottom, and
And then we kind of own someone's backyard, like down in the town below us. It's really hard to explain.
yeah.
But we're considering buying. We'll see. Like we're seeing. We'll see how it goes. But like maybe in the near future we can get another 5 acres next door. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, the abandoned property.
Totally. 5 farmable acres too, where
No
we
one's
can.
using it, so
Yeah.
we just got to find the right number, I guess. How do the goats like the snow?
Oh, they love it and they hate it.
Yeah.
They love it until they hate it. I take them for long hikes typically. Like last year I did. I was taking them for long hikes. I just take the goats for hikes so that they didn't have to be bothered by the dogs. And the big black one, he's a big boy. He doesn't have the energy to be hiking in the mountains in 3 feet of snow.
Yeah.
But
we take
good
them
for
out.
'em,
They
yeah.
have fun.
yeah, for sure. Do we watch Raspberry Rock?
Oh yeah, we do.
Absolutely.
I forgot to mention Russell.
Russell-
Russell's been a big help with.
He's kind of our YouTube guru, actually.
Yeah.
Any questions we've had like from the get-go. I mean like from like when we had like 300 subscribers. I think Russell was the first person to be like, hey, on my live stream, check out these guys. And we got 50 subscribers and we were just, yay, we're going to make it. You know?
Yeah, he's
If you haven't checked out Raspberry Rock, go check out Raspberry Rock. He's the guy who makes the content is a super awesome dude. He's living in a really cool area on the other side of the country. He lives on a lake.
Yeah.
He's got some nice dogs, beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just living in a cabin, living his best life,
Yeah.
for sure.
Picture froze again. Yeah.
For sure. Is that a 1-bedroom house? Are you going to expand the house later? It is a 1-bedroom house, and no, we're not going to expand the house.
No.
There are no children in the forecast.
No. Not many people you hear saying they don't like children.
Well, I like children. I just don't
don't.
want my own.
I don't like kids, all right?
No.
I'm saying it.
All right, well.
I'm not going to change my mind, so.
It doesn't matter if you do. It's not going to work. When will you guys work on the outside of the house? I think we're gonna have to make the decision on what kind of siding we're using in the springtime.
Yeah.
And there's actually things that we're going to be doing on the exterior of the house that we have to do first. Like we don't have an entrance into the house. I'm going to mill and timber frame a front entrance. We don't have our deck out there yet. We have plans for a fairly elaborate deck. Kind of have to have all of the ledgers and everything ready for siding. So there's decisions to be made this winter, and we're not worried about this siding. Like we have rock wool on the outside.
Cardboard.
We have rock wool on the outside of the house, and it's still in fine shape. And then underneath that, we have Tyvek, and it's a waterproof exterior. We're fine. So
Yeah.
we get to take our time.
Yeah.
For sure.
What was the thinking on the flat roof as opposed to a pitched roof? Behind us is the sunset down a big, huge lake. So we wanted the flat roof so that we could sit out there and have a wine or beer or tea and just watch the sunset or the waves on the lake.
We're going to probably have some sort of green roof out there too,
Yeah.
so we can eat some strawberries outside of our bedroom and
Yeah.
just try to build as much of a idyllic idyllic. How do you say it?
I don't know.
Anyway, just
Better take that.
yeah. And I am a expert in flat roofing. I've been doing it for 17 years. That's the last roof up there that'll ever leak in this area. So that's why we did a flat roof, because it's my specialty.
Yeah. So we're not worried about it.
This is a very nice comment. No disrespect intended whatsoever. The Greg, you have the most beautiful partner and the hardest working partner on the internet. Now, the bad side, you all make a perfect couple. You two are the perfect match. I think that's the good side. Yeah.
Song with Sandy.
Yep,
Yeah.
we watch him too, for sure.
Well, you watch him.
I watch him, yeah. Actually, I'm going to shout out. We've kind of, if you just joined recently, we're kind of like telling who we watch on YouTube. My favorite YouTuber, and I want you all to go and take a look after the stream, is Buckin Billy Ray. He's an arborist from Vancouver. Sorry, he's an old faller. He's also an arborist. He's a tree man. He runs power saws, and like, this man is the most authentic human on the internet. I mean it when I say it. I try to be like that, but he's 100 times more than me. He is amazing. And like, when I am overwhelmed with life, I love power saws and I love all that kind of stuff, and cutting trees and firewood and throwing around axes. But if I'm like super stressed out, one Buckin video and I am good to go. Like, his positivity is outrageous, and it spreads like a wildfire. So his name's Buckin Billy Ray. I want you guys to check it out. Tell him that if you leave comments, and tell him that we sent you, because that's one guy I want to meet. And actually, I know where he lives. He lives near a friend of mine, and I want to meet up with him in the future for sure. Yeah.
What is it that we're drinking? I've got Jerkface 9000, Northwest Wheat. It's pretty good.
I've got a Cosmic Soup, which is a juicy IPA.
Yeah. And yes, we are sitting on our new bar stools. They're very comfortable and we love them. I got them on Wayfair, if anyone wants to check them out. We actually ended up ordering 2 more because we like them so much, and they were on sale, so we could get 2 for the price of 1, basically. So we will have stools for visitors.
Yes. One of the questions you guys have is, how do you maintain the on-demand hot water heater? We don't. We just wait until it breaks, and then we buy a new one in a hurry. That's like, tomorrow I'm buying a flushing kit for. Actually, I should probably even do it tonight on Amazon for our hot water on demand.
Yeah, we tried to do a DIY, and
I destroyed one. I just destroyed it.
Yeah, so we're gonna spend the money on the EcoTemp
cleaning kit. Yeah, totally.
So hopefully we don't have to buy another one. But yeah, there is some green stuff coming out of it, so
it's good. It's good for you. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah. Are we hippies?
You know what? I used to have beautiful long hair when Katie knew me originally. Yeah. I kind of looked like a young Fabio, actually. Yeah. I was perfect, but now I'm not so much. No. And are we hippies? I'm not gonna say yes, because that term is really vague. I love the earth more than anything.
Nature.
Nature is the most important part of my life. Yeah. Does that make me a hippie? If that falls under your description, then definitely I'm a hippie.
I do like the smell of patchouli.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're a little bit hippies, I guess. Yeah. I guess, yeah, a little bit. Totally. Sorry, we're just going through a couple things here.
How much longer do you have to work at the roofing job? Hopefully not too much longer.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that at that.
Are we going to build a high tunnel greenhouse?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would love to have a greenhouse.
I'd love to have 10 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing better than watching sprouts come up when there's snow on the ground still outside. And just feeling that, like, especially in a double-walled greenhouse, just like feeling that warm heat after a long winter inside the greenhouse.
Yeah, and even putting the chickens in there in the winter would be awesome too, because I do have plastic around their chicken run and it looks pretty dumpy, so it'd be nice to have a better spot for them. And it's kind of small, and it's pretty dark. So I think the chickens would be a lot happier in the winter to be in a greenhouse as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Someone mentioned Red Poppy Ranch. I've watched that for years.
Yeah.
That's another really good YouTuber, Red Poppy Ranch. Mm-hmm. Good American man building a beautiful home for his family. Like, what else can you really ask for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our cat is beautiful. What's her name? Her name is actually Pooey.
Her name originally was Pepperoni, and because I thought it'd be funny yelling into the woods, Pepperoni.
Time to
but now we're yelling poop. we call Pooey. We call her every iteration of poop. Lovingly, of course, but she is beautiful, and she's absolutely the owner of our hearts.
Yeah, she's really good.
For sure. Do you have a biodigester, or are you making your own gas? That was something I wanted so badly to incorporate into the house, because I don't really want to rely on propane. Mm-hmm. But the problem is we live in Canada, and it's -7, 8 maybe outside right now, and we see -25, and a biodigester is not going to work very well in that. Without, there are large scale farms that run that out here, but they have the money for the technology to do that. So
yeah,
unfortunately, that's not going to be something that we get to do.
Yeah. Am I a good cook?
You are way better than me. Yeah. Can you please convert the metric values to American values for us old unknowing?
No.
I don't know how.
Google is your best friend.
Yeah. Van Wives. Yeah, we watch the Van Wives a bit, for sure. They've got a cool off-grid property in PEI, was it?
East Coast.
East Coast, somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why did we not finish the ceiling before putting in the cabinets? We did that because we wanted a kitchen.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's enough space up there to fit the Brad Naylor gun.
We're not doing drywall on the ceiling. A lot of people don't realize that. We're going to be doing tongue and groove on the ceiling.
Yeah, same as upstairs.
Yep.
So
for the little bit behind the cabinets, we can use a palm nailer. I can just, it's not going to be an issue. It's only about that deep, maybe that deep. I can get my hand in there. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we're not worried about being able to install that.
Yeah.
Although the dilemma is if we put the hood vent over the stove and put the piping up over the top of the cabinets, it will get too tight.
Yeah.
So we can't really install that until we have the ceiling, but for cooking in here, it'd be nice to have that, and yeah.
Everything in good time. Yeah. What did I see? Do you guys own crypto? If you should, if you don't. I actually bought my bus from a crypto win. I made like 20 grand in.
Yeah, there's so many channels. It's hard to remember them on the spot. What is all the noise in the background? The dogs are stirring. We took them for a walk before the live stream, but now they're awake. So. Anything interesting on the trail cam? We don't have the trail cam out right now. Greg was going to go put it down on where we saw the cougars last year, but I think the batteries were dead or something, and we need to go get batteries, so hopefully soon, because I think he saw cougar tracks down there, so we should have it out so we can see. Are we planning to do water catchment from the house? Yes, we do want to do that, but all in good time, really. It's another one of those projects that we're just not quite ready to tackle, but
I have big plans for that, actually.
Yeah.
Can I say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure. Whatever. We live in a pretty dangerous fire zone, and one of the things that I really want to see up here is a pond. And the best way to fill that pond is with the water off of the roofs, the upper and lower roof. And it would work really well because the house is kind of higher than where we want to put the pond. So that will keep us safe when we have to, if it ever happens where we have to evacuate and turn on a big sprinkler, we can drain a pond to our defensible space around our house. So that's definitely something that we're planning on doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a troll.
A troll? Oh, yes.
Yet to see our solar array. If you go back in our older videos, we do have a couple videos on our solar array.
Mm-hmm.
But
we have 2,000 watts, which is not very much for typical off-grid living, but in the summertime it completely meets our needs. That's with a fridge, a freezer, computers, fans, lights, all the stuff. And we're usually, even with 2,000 watts, we're usually floating our batteries by 12 o'clock. So
yeah, when the sun's out.
When the
not
sun's
right
out.
now, though. Not this time of year.
For the most part, which is, crazy, but
yeah.
Yeah. I love your music. What's your inspiration, Katie? I like that comment because a lot of people don't like our music, but we're music people, and to find unlicensed music that kind of is similar to what we listen to,
but still is okay for other people that might not be into it.
It is literally one of the hardest parts of making any of these videos is finding some music to go to the video.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah,
it's...
And I mean, I love electronic music, so that's where it comes from. And I even listen to music that's most people would say is weirder than what we put on our videos.
Quite a bit weirder.
But I try to keep it somewhat neutral, but still within our taste.
You guys need to get some moderators in here.
I think I got them.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. Was it just the girls XYZ or whatever? If there's other ones, let me know.
Okay. What have we not... Katie, your eyebrows look more than fine. Stop messing with them. You've had a lot of those comments.
I know.
I've got... Okay, I want to change gears a little bit here. I want you guys... Like, I kind of want... Typically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not here right now.
I guess we could probably ask your sister.
Mm-hmm. Is there land for sale around that area that you live? Like 1 or 2 acres? Well, there is, but it's unreasonably expensive. It's ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous. So.
Yeah, but if you're looking in BC, you can always check LandQuest. That's a good website. A lot of their stuff is very expensive, but there's some affordable, smaller, off-grid, rustic kind of properties as well. A lot of stuff in northern BC, but...
Okay, so one question is how freaking strong do you guys feel at this point, physically, after all this work? I'm going to tell you a story about Katie.
Uh-oh.
When we actually lived in another... We weren't off-grid, but we were, like, way in the boonies. We had a rental on an acre. Katie couldn't chop firewood without getting a headache. Like, she'd chop 5 rounds and
Well, I couldn't even chop rounds. I could chop, like, smaller pieces into smaller pieces, but...
Now Katie's tough like moose. For sure.
Yeah.
And she's going to get tougher because she doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because we live up here, and that's just what happens. So, that's a good comment. How strong do you guys feel at this point? I feel pretty strong, but, like, my job is way harder than living up here.
Yeah. And I feel a lot better since I left my job because I was working at a desk and then I would come home and edit and sit at my own desk here. So yeah, I definitely feel stronger since leaving that just because I'm able to do more. But I actually started going to the gym for the first time in my life before COVID, and then the gym got shut down, so that went to shit. I would have been stronger.
Just go chop that wood, girl. It's ready to go. Do you have a problem losing livestock to wild animals? I'm like right at the bottom here. I'm just going to go from there. Knock on wood. We have not had issues with that. We've
lost 2 birds.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we had a bobcat issue last year.
Well, I don't know. We lost a guinea, and then we lost the very first chicken that I hatched here. Sniggles.
Rest in peace, Sniggles.
That was the best chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, so sad.
Totally. So yeah, we have, but considering how many predators are in our area, we've been very lucky. So
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and actually, well, I haven't really been putting some of our chickens in the videos because we sent some of our chickens off to a friend's house, or a friend's off-grid property, and he's like way more in the boonies than we are. Yeah, and unfortunately, he had a bear.
Family bears take out all his chickens, yeah.
But he had Bilky and then a bunch of our older hens.
Yeah. Bilky was our rooster, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
He was the original rooster on the homestead.
Yeah.
But he was also an asshole. And Katie had to go to the hospital one time because he like impaled her. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so unfortunately we don't have those guys anymore, but.
How did the meat birds turn out?
Good.
It is literally the best chicken I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
The last 2 years that we did meat birds was like a mass-produced style meat bird, where I think our largest bird was like 16 or 17 pounds. Like that's gross for a chicken to be that big. To have a chicken breast like that big, it's they were good. Don't get me wrong, but the birds that we grew this year were phenomenal. For sure.
Yeah. So the Mistral Gree
is
a really good breed, and I don't know if I heard that the farm I got them from is going to be closing, so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but yeah, they're really good.
How old is my black dog? Old. She's old. She's 13, but she's just about 14. And she likes sleeping next to the wood stove, eating, and sleeping next to the wood stove at this point in time. So she comes for walks every once in a while with us, but she's an old girl. She's living a good life, though. Yeah.
Someone's asking what kind of music we do like. Whoa. I like house, techno, psytrance, which I don't actually tell a lot of people because it's
totally not in line with our channel.
But that's whatsoever. My favorite. Psytrance is my favorite.
Yeah.
But I just love electronic music, and then some like folk, acoustic sort of stuff as well.
And I love everything. My parents were DJs. Like I've always had music everywhere in my life, and I'm probably the most eclectic person that you can meet. Yeah. So I listen to everything. So for sure.
Yeah. How did the garden turn out? It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was crap.
Yeah, the this year was good.
This year was a bad year for gardening. Well, it wasn't a bad year for gardening, but we were building a house, and it's just
it was
too many irons in the fire.
Because the spring was so cold and wet, so it took a long time for things to start. I think I had like a watermelon this big in September when I finally just pulled it off. Yeah. I think I got 2 squash, 2 zucchini. Like we didn't even get zucchini. Zucchini is crazy. But the beefsteak tomatoes that we had were the best tomatoes I've ever had in my life. They were so good.
Totally.
But we need to get rid of this arugula because it's just everywhere.
It's called wild Italian arugula, and we know why it's called wild Italian arugula.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the $50, Nature Preserve Life. And we love that we are your favorite channel to follow.
Thank you.
For sure.
That's awesome.
What is the most difficult aspect of living off the grid? What does that really mean? Like what is living off the grid? Like it's the difficult.
I have an answer.
Yeah, please do, Katie. Please do. You're the best one to answer this.
The amount of things that break in stressful times is just like how many water pumps or how many times the water pumps have failed on us or the generator has failed on us when we need power or water, and it's just that's the hardest part, is trying to accept those situations and like move forward from them, because there's so many things that go wrong all the time.
When it hits the fan, it hits it hard, for sure.
Yeah. Like the cistern.
Oh yeah.
That was
tough.
There was one point where Greg was in the cistern and I was like, we're going to buy a new cistern. Like, let's go right now because like if we have to order this thing in or something, like we gotta go now.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we gotta fix it. It's like,
thank goodness we did. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
It was a good $4,000 for a new cistern that size. The dog is eating it. Juniper is eating everything that she can possibly put her mouth on.
Drop it. Good girl.
For me, the most difficult aspect of living off the grid is figuring out how to, kind of to what Katie said, is figuring out how to have redundancies for when things break down. It's pretty expensive to have 2 of everything, 2 generators, 2 water pumps, 2, like charge controllers for solar, because solar stuff malfunctions too. Goodness, we've had our share of like, oh, the charge controller's not working. All of a sudden, we don't have power. Yeah. So there's a redundancy that needs to happen for sure. We have another charge controller if ours ever failed. Mind you, it's a 24 volt and ours is a 48, and I'd have to do some reconfiguring, but it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah. So we do have a redundancy for that. But it is absolutely critical to have redundancies living off grid. Yeah. Black Dog is Lab. What is the red one? He reminded me of a wolf when he was playing with a toy in the video.
He's an Australian Kelpie. So I went to Australia a while ago on a working holiday visa and adopted him there and brought him back to Canada. So he's a true Aussie boy. Yeah. Although I was reading today that Kelpies with the white, if they have white on them, it means they've been bred with a border collie.
No kidding.
So.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a good dog. Yep. He's a really good dog. Do we keep the dogs inside at night?
100%.
Yes. Yeah.
That's our children.
Those are our children.
Yeah. And the cat.
Yeah, the cat comes in every night.
For sure.
And there's been a few times where the cat hasn't come home and we've gone out looking for her. And...
yeah. And I've lost 2 cats, one to a coyote and one maybe to an owl. We keep them in at night, but they get out by accident. That's the same with us. We haven't lost our cat, thank goodness, because I'd die, literally. Or just curl up and just leave the earth. But we have an owl in the area. Have you heard him?
Yeah.
He's close, too.
Oh, not lately.
Oh, yeah, he's around. Or she, I don't know. But, yeah, it's freaky, but the cat's got to live outside. It's, you can't keep... in my view, like, I've got a cat who thrives on hunting mice and lives in the forest, and she lives such a full life that ultimately she's going to be, the chances are of her dying and not coming home because she's been hunted are very high. Mm-hmm. But doesn't mean I can keep her in the house because she's happy when she's outside, and we've got a good system. She knows when supper time is getting doled out. So
yeah, so we don't feed her during the day.
Yep.
I might give her a little bit of food in the morning just so she has something, but then the rest of the day there's no access to food. So at night or in the evening she's ready to come in and eat, and that works well most of the time. Mm-hmm. There's been a few times she hasn't come home, but we discovered if you go out with the flashlight you can see her eyes. Yeah. So we just wait till dark now.
For sure. Do you have Sasquatch near your place?
Probably.
Yeah. More than likely, actually. If you won a lottery, Katie, what would you do?
I would buy 500 acres somewhere warm and
yeah.
Never come back.
Yeah, never shovel again.
Yeah. No Pantera or Mushroom Head? Is that music? Pantera is music, I guess.
Yeah.
What's Mushroom Head?
Yeah.
I've never heard of Mushroom Head. Yeah. What kind of Wi-Fi or cellular do we have? We've got Starlink for our internet. And
hey!
It's enough.
It's fine.
Hey. Come on, outside.
We've got Starlink, which we're talking to you on right now. And then we just have just normal cellular, which our cell phone connection up here is pretty shoddy, but we've got a cell booster that we haven't had plugged in for a while.
No, I think it was the bus that was the problem.
Well, yeah, it hasn't been an issue, but
yeah.
Do you visit the States ever? Not enough. We don't visit anywhere because we're busy working and building a house. We've got friends and family that we'd love to go see, but this is the most... what am I trying to say, Katie? This is like, we have to take care of our life right now and get this built.
Someone to come here and like use our bathtub with a hose and, you know, don't get water everywhere.
Exactly.
And if it snows, here's the plow truck. Figure out how to plow. Like,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Too much to ask of someone.
Yeah, we're just not dialed in enough to have people take over for a while. But goodness, I'm excited for it. Yeah, for sure.
Did we get issues with the water heater squared away?
When I worked in Fort McMurray, which is northern Alberta, just kind of for a couple of years, just to kind of get my financial life back together after making poor decisions in my 20s. But that's what kept me living up there was, you know, I could, in the dead of the summer, I could be fly fishing on a creek at 12 o'clock at night and still be able to see the sunset. And then when the winter came around, it was so cool because the winter hits that part of the world so fast. The water stays warm because it's, you know, that's how quick the weather changes. And one of my favorite moments was I was way in the boonies by myself, fly fishing in a creek, and the water was like, it was warm. Like you could sit in it all day and it'd be fine. And it was -8 degrees, and the steam that came off the water was so intense, and I was just slaying fish in the middle of this like cloud, and it was one of the coolest experiences fishing I've ever had, for sure. Yeah, ran into bear that night too. Yeah. Okay.
When did you get the tractor and the backhoe?
We just passed our 1-year anniversary. Thank goodness we bought it. Holy mackerel. That is a seriously wonderful tool to have up here.
Yeah, and I bet the price has gone up a lot too lately.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I was humming and hawing about buying a tractor instead of a used backhoe or an older tractor. Like, that tractor's expensive. It's just shy of 50 grand with the backhoe on it. Like, that's an expensive purchase, but man, is it ever nice to have that specific tractor, because we live on a steep mountain and that thing is really good at wheeling around in some pretty sketchy spots. So it was the right choice for sure.
Yeah.
It does everything, but it's not good at anything. Is that fair to say? Yeah, pretty much.
I think so.
The backhoe is clunky and weird, and the tractor's not super strong, but I can do everything with it. So.
Yeah, and we really need a back blade for it so we can
we
fix the road, because it's just getting bad.
When
am I going to show you some cooking videos?
I was just going to say, that's going to be fun. Have you
know,
you ever thought of that?
No, I personally...
Cooking with Katie?
I don't enjoy cooking videos. I guess I could do some if people want to see that. But my cooking is, like, there's no measurements. It's just a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of this. Yeah. And it works
freestyle.
out.
And it always works out, for sure.
Yeah.
Almost 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Thanks for being stoked to watch us live. That's really what we're doing. We're showing you how we live. And honestly, this is crazy, because if you want to see what I've done completely in my last 2 years of the free time of my life, it's all recorded on video, which is really weird to say.
Yeah.
But, like, there's very few, other than just, like, after work a couple times where I come home and, not do much occasionally.
Yeah.
Everything's recorded, which is weird. It's weird. I'm typically, I'm not really, like, a super tech savvy person. I'm kind of believe it or not, I'm a little bit shut in, but it's been a really interesting and positive learning experience doing this YouTube thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. How about the mountain lions? Have we seen any close to the house? We haven't really seen any too close to the house, but I guess...
I saw tracks today.
Yeah, you saw
tracks. I took Juniper for a hike today, and on our lower property, the only tracks I saw down there.
Which is where we got the video of them last time.
Totally.
But we do have cougar hunters in the area that do it recreationally, I guess. So
they keep the numbers at bay.
Yeah.
So that they don't. So that the mountain lands don't go into the communities. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't exactly agree with that kind of hunting. I guess they don't always shoot the cat. They do just have dogs that kind of like scare them out of the area.
They actively track them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't realize that until last year. They rarely actually shoot the cats.
They would do whatever's legal. I guess is. I don't know what the legalities are.
They just keep dibs on them a lot of the time.
But it was funny because I don't know if I put it in the video or not. But when we had the cougars on our game camera, we had us walking around that day earlier, and then overnight the cougars, and then the next day, first thing in the morning, there was these random dogs and then these random people, and I was like, what the heck? And then I realized that the cougar hunters had tracked them onto our land. Well,
they knew exactly. There's a trail down where I saw the tracks today.
Yeah.
And that's the cougar hunters know that's where the cougars, that's their cougar highway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we don't really care if they're down there. I guess it'd be an issue if the dogs came to our dogs, but... They stayed their distance away from our property. Yeah.
Like, sorry, they're on our property, obviously, but, like, from our, like, we're 5 acres. And we live on, like, I don't know, like half an acre, 2/3 of an acre.
Yeah.
Up here.
Yeah.
But, the squeaky one wants back in.
Yeah. Do you think we will still live this lifestyle when we're old? I think so.
As long as the flesh is willing.
Yeah, as long as we're able to. If we get too old and we can't, then we'll have to figure something else out. But I think we like being immersed in nature and with our animals and living simply. So, yeah, I think as long as we can, for sure.
The goats are still out in the yard.
Oh, they're probably in bed.
No, they're right there. They're just hanging out. We let the goats run around our... Oh, there you are. Hi. We let the goats run around our fenced yard in the winter when we don't have to keep them away from plants and stuff, and they just poop and pee everywhere. But they get to stretch their legs, so...
Well, this is nice. I can put people in timeout.
Who'd you have to put in timeout?
I don't know.
Oh.
It wasn't a very nice comment, though. We have siblings. I've got 2 brothers that are younger than me, 5 and 7 years younger, and yeah, they're doing their thing.
Yep.
I've got BC.
Got a sister and a brother.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah.
They're awesome people.
Your sister's my sister now.
Yep.
I have in my adulthood, I get a sister.
And my sister is my best friend.
Yeah.
And pretty much Katie's best friend too. Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
She is.
It's good. We're tight with the family. Are there snakes in that part of the world? Yep. We don't really have many. Snakes. Yeah, we actually have rattlesnakes kind of not here but near. But snakes aren't really a concern. Mm-hmm. What was your worst off-grid day there? Oh my goodness.
Probably the cistern.
No, not even close. Are you kidding me? Remember when the power stopped working?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or when the
tree took out the bus, or like.
Yeah, that windstorm was actually the scariest for sure.
We live on the edge of a mountain, and when we get on a river, on a river that's hundreds and hundreds of kilometers long down a valley. When we get serious windstorms, it is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was one point in time where my neighbor, Katie, and I, they had hard hats on. I gave my hard hat to Katie. We literally were standing in the biggest open field away from every tree, dodging branches and trees falling over because everything was collapsing everywhere around us.
Yeah, but it was too scary to be inside the bus because there's trees right next to it.
Oh, there was the way the wind was blowing trees like over the bus and just
it was terrifying.
Hail Mary full of grace, like yeah.
Yeah, so probably the windstorms would be like the scariest, I guess.
Yeah.
Now she wants in.
Land here in Oklahoma goes for $6,800 and up per acre. Land here goes for 68,000 and up per acre, probably or more. Yeah, it's
250,000 for half an
Yeah, it just depends on where it's situated, but it's so expensive to live in Canada.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to live in Canada.
Yeah.
So, you know. Did the new Canadian gun laws affect you? Not yet.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I haven't got into is hunting or any of that stuff, but it's definitely like something that if we live in an area where hunting, it makes total sense. And I try not to talk about Canadian laws or any of that sort on YouTube to keep it non-divisive. So
Yeah.
Is
there anything in the bus that needs to come to the house?
Needs to be cleaned. It's
disaster.
disgusting, and the mice have found it.
Yeah.
So we need to get the cat in there and just like get the wood stove, go over a nice comfy spot for the cat to just slay. That's what we should do. We should do tomorrow. We should just leave her in there and then count the dead mice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd love it.
Yeah.
For sure. Are you planning on cutting more trees around the house? Oh my goodness, yes we are. And I wish I would have done it before building the house, because now I have real, like, if I don't fall a tree properly, this is all for nothing. Like,
yeah.
I've got a
Serious
humongous
now.
pine that scares the hell out of me. My neighbor's gonna help me drop it fairly soon.
Yeah.
It would destroy our house, and it's dangerous. So we need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But we have about 6 trees like this winter that we'll be bringing down. That are like the danger trees. So
yeah.
Yeah. Are you in BC? We are.
Yep.
And do we hunt for meat such as deer? No, but we want to for sure. Because I love game meat. It's my favorite. I would eat. We had elk tonight. Our neighbor brought over some elk for us, so
yeah,
a delicious treat for sure.
Yeah.
Montana land is 2,115 per acre. Is it just like one, like, is that like the price? Is it like regulated like that, where it's exactly $2,115 per acre? Because like in BC, like, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
It's all
I don't know
over.
why it's so expensive.
Well, everything got like everything tripled in price in like during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Where's the guest house going? Downhill. How do we say it better than that? Like,
yeah, kind of like our little, like near the woodshed where the road goes down the hill, and kind of where our goat pen is, the like daytime goat pen.
Yeah.
Probably that general area, because where the bus is and where the goats are currently is kind of the nice yard that we want to keep for ourselves, for like flowers and the deck and pizza oven, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it'll probably go that way now, but yeah.
How close did the fires get to you? Always too close. Without saying, exactly. When I first bought the property, you could see there was a fire moving its way
coming this way
towards it, but luckily it was
contained.
Yeah, contained. So
yeah.
But it's a dangerous place to live for fires. Like we that's a part of our design process. So we need to make sure that we have contingency plans if there's a fire from every direction. So
yeah,
we talk about escape plans if we have to, if we know that there's a fire above us, below us, to the right, left. Like it's a real concern. It's a reality of living where we are.
Yeah.
And it is really what it is, but we have to prepare for the worst and expect the best.
Yep.
So
do I ever get lonely now that I gave my job up? Sometimes, yeah. I find it's more lonely when Greg is at work, like between Monday and Friday. But once he's home, then I feel not lonely anymore.
Katie has friends too.
Yeah, I have friends, but I'm also pretty introverted, so it's
wildly introverted.
Hard to get me out. So yeah, I have my lonely days, and then the other days I'm fine.
Is there any worries about the snow load on our flat roof? No, not really.
We shovel
our
it.
trusses are engineered to hold the weight. We shovel it because we go out there. Like it's not really a concern.
Yeah.
Raspberry Rock's here. Hey Russell.
Nice.
We gave your channel a good shout out tonight. Russell is our YouTube guru. So if you haven't checked out Raspberry Rock, go check him out.
Yeah.
Doing the off-grid thing too. Living through the highs and lows of making it work without power from power.
Solar?
No, power. You got to make do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many chickens left?
That is like a rolling number.
Yeah.
If you've ever had chickens,
20.
you understand what chicken math is. We've had 20, and then you get 4 more, and then you get 20 more, and then 5 die, and 2 have clutches of babies, and it's a variable number for sure.
Yeah, I think we have 20 now though.
Yeah. Some of the originals. Yeah.
Are we using the mulcher still and putting wood chips on the driveway? We aren't right now. I think when we fall trees, we'll be using the chipper.
Yep.
For branches and stuff, but the driveway is just ice.
Yeah.
So
there's 1.5 foot of snow everywhere right now.
We're
probably gonna be chipping in the winter. You know, like when I'm off work and we're bored. What is that?
Yeah.
Well, when I'm off work and we don't feel like working on the house, we'll probably go chip some wood because there's tons of it out there, and it's awesome.
And I would like to put it in the chicken run and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, well, I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, it's mostly in the summer for dust control, and then mud in the spring. Yeah. Hopefully.
Dave May asked how big of a pond. I'm thinking 10 to 15,000 gallons. Kind of. I'm thinking in that range. We'll see. Like it might have to be smaller. Like we're perched on a mountain. It's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna like plan to get an exact size. I'm just gonna start digging, and when we kind of reach the size that we think is right, then that's where we're at. So yeah.
Considerations for wind turbine.
We thought about that originally. Wind turbine, you kind of have to live in a windy region where it's windy all the time for it to be worth it. And a lot of people argue that.
It'd be worth it here. Like I think it'd be cool to try.
It'd be cool to try, but it's not like nobody has wind turbines here for a reason because there's no wind out there right now. And you actually need a good deal of wind to actually make it worth it.
Yeah.
In comparison, so if we were to spend money on a wind turbine, which there would be money because you need your own charge controller for it and blah, blah, blah. We could take that same amount of money and put in solar panels, and we know for sure that it would work. So it's kind of I'm not interested in a wind turbine.
Maybe if we can get a free one.
Yeah, play with it.
How does house fire insurance work when you're off grid?
You tell me.
Yeah, we haven't.
Our neighbor has fire insurance.
House insurance.
Sorry. Yeah.
But the price is always going up, so it's almost unaffordable. So that's why we're trying to build so that the house is fireproof. Mm-hmm. We're taking all that sort of stuff into consideration.
With the pond and everything, and we're gonna have 2 large sprinklers on the top of the roof.
Yeah.
We've got a fire pump. We're gonna have our property set up so if we gotta leave and keep our animals even alive, we're gonna have that capability. Yeah. So that's really the best insurance is taking care of it yourself.
Yeah.
And then obviously we're gonna get home insurance when we are done building, which we should
start looking into that.
Yeah, which you can't get home insurance in BC in the summer. Someone had a question about fires earlier. If you're within 50 kilometers of a fire, your home insurance will be rates will be outrageous. So
I don't even think you can get it.
You can't even get it. Yeah, no, yeah. I guess you're right. But in the wintertime, you can get home insurance because there's no fires anywhere. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ever think our channel would do so good and grow so fast?
Nope, not even close.
Not even close. I was watching, it's Catherine Manning. She does, it's like completely different from our style, but she did have some really useful, like, how to grow your YouTube channel videos, and she shares a lot of her finances, and I was just like, that's crazy. There's absolutely no way, and we're still nowhere near what she shares, but at least, like, it's pretty amazing that I was able to quit my job and just do YouTube.
A very good paying job too. And it's worth it, it's worth it for sure.
Yeah, so
but not without a tremendous amount of effort. Like for 2 years when we started this thing, Katie, because it was during the pandemic, Katie would work a full day sitting at her desk, you know, and then literally sign out of however you signed out of work and then immediately start editing.
Yeah. Or like, before work.
Or before work. Yeah, you'd get up when I got up and then you just start like that and then after work. Yeah. And then run a homestead and do all the things, you know, like that we have to do out here. Katie has worked so freaking hard on this project that it's
to make it grow.
Yeah. Well, to make it successful. And it is really.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so I feel pretty grateful that it's worked out how it has.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's keeping on, and I'm really happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Have you checked the underground water tank that was repaired? We checked it whenever it was in the last video, or the second last video, I think. And we filled it up a little bit. I think we put in 1 tank of water, so it was almost full. And yeah, we should probably check it again just to make sure we're not getting too low.
Yeah.
I like to have it full, not half full, so.
Yeah, it's
easier to do 1 trip of water than to do 4.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just in case you get COVID and you're mangled for like, well, we kicked it real quick actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to keep on top of your stuff.
Yeah.
You got to change your oil in your generator. You got to do all that stuff. You got to be on top of it for sure.
Yeah.
Wind turbine will work during the winter months as solar may or may not. And our solar doesn't work very well. Mm-hmm. And maybe it'd be cool to try to like run get like 1,000-watt wind turbine just to help with the fuel costs that we pay for a generator. But
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Did the woodshed get totally full, top to bottom, front to back yet? I don't think
we're a little short on the last row.
We only went like a half row on the last row.
Yeah.
But we are eating it for sure.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
Don't be concerned. That's like,
I guess we want to go through all of it, but we should really be getting more firewood now so that it's drying. And we do have some trees on our driveway we
have some savior trees that are dead dry. Yeah. Dead standing.
I don't know how dry they'll be, but they're
dead
close.
large. They're like large with no bark. Like
I think they only died this year though.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. I'm sure.
Just because our wood stove is a Blaze King, they say it should be seasoned for 2 seasons or 2 years. So yeah, we should be getting more wood that's starting to dry out for next year.
Are there any earthquakes up here? Not really. Apparently there have been in the past, but they're like we're quite inland from the coast.
Yeah.
Nothing to speak of, really.
Yeah.
Now the use of wood chippers are worth the investment, Katie. $4,000. It was expensive. Not yet. But it will be.
Yeah.
It'll like it's. Yeah, totally it will be.
Yeah.
And we love doing it. Like I love doing it. I can't speak for you, but it's just like one of those things where you just after work, it's like chopping wood. It's rewarding because it's not easy. You gotta like drag brush around and stick it in the thing, and I just love working like that. I love manual labor. It's especially when I'm in the forest with Katie and the dogs and the goats and drinking a good beer. Just like what else you need in the world, really. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
What machine is the next priority? It's not a machine, but a back blade for the tractor would be awesome. We've been watching for used ones, but they don't come up very often, and when they do, they sell so fast. Or they're too far away, and it's like, I want to drive 4 hours to go get one.
Our neighbor who doesn't live up here, we have another neighbor who owns, a landowner down here, but he's got one, and I'm sure we could buy it off of him if I ever found out where he was.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd sell it right away to us, but...
Yeah.
Have you asked your local community to help you guys out? We're stubborn. And we're introverts.
Yeah, we don't really want... We've had a couple friends help us out getting firewood and stuff. Like, we'll help them get their firewood and they'll help us. But But yeah, aside from our neighbor, we keep it just us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bought a Predator generator, rock solid. Dave May said. We don't have a Harbor Freight in Canada, and I know that's where you got that from, because I watch YouTube in my free time, and all off-grid stuff, and a lot of people like that Predator generator, which is awesome because I think it's like a 9,500 watt inverter generator. But I guess we could order one from the States. Like, I don't see an issue with that.
Someone's asking about the giveaway. Oh, I lost it. They said, oops, where is it? How do we know we're entered in the contest? I've subscribed to their mailing list and their YouTube and have been a subscriber of yours for many years now. Phil Freedom 35. If you went to the link in the description, it should have like a checklist, and if you've entered in your information there, that you should be entered in the contest. So I don't know exactly how it works once you're on the contest website, because we're not able to, it just says we're not in the region for it. So yeah, as long as you follow that link and put in your information, it should be entered.
How crazy is that? Like, even though it's not a lot of land, like, to give away free land?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's super cool.
Tell me that 2 years ago that we were going to do that, and I'd tell you you're crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to hearing who the winner is, and maybe we can connect somehow and hear about their plans, or get an update after a little while and see what they've gotten up to there. Cool.
Is the outer Wayne McCoon says, is the outer insulation safe from weather? Just curious. It is. It's hydrophobic. It's fireproof. It's inorganic, so it won't mold. And yeah, it is. It's for sure safe from the weather. So it's degraded almost nothing over the last year that we've had it up.
There was a woodpecker that's put a couple.
There's a woodpecker that's got a couple holes in it, but I'm not too worried about it. We'll have it covered up soon enough.
Yeah, and actually the one thing that we noticed, or that we should have done differently, was we cut it back from the windows thinking about installing the trim. What we should have done was put the insulation right up to the windows, and then when we were ready to do the trim, cut out.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
For sure.
So if you're thinking about doing exterior insulation, I would say go up to the windows first.
Yeah.
Unless you have your trim and you know exactly what. You shouldn't have your windows in, then out.
Yeah.
Because if they're out, there's going to draw more of the heat out. Or cold in, I guess.
PV Mart is our tractor supply in Canada. Damn rights it is. PV Mart, I haven't actually heard that word in a long time. We don't have it. I don't know if we even have PV Mart in BC.
Maybe in the city, or like Abbotsford or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Or Chilliwack.
Yeah.
Farmland.
It's kind of like, what's the other one? Princess Auto. Same thing. Princess Auto is literally like the Canadian version of Harbor Freight, from what I understand. I've never been, but...
Yes, we are in Canada. We're in British Columbia. And how long is the driveway? We've got 7 kilometers of forest service road. And then our driveway is probably like 500, 600, 700 meters. Something like
500, probably. Yeah, about that. Our driveway.
What the heck?
What?
Hinto's rolling on his back. I've never seen him do that.
He had a bone in here. I threw it away.
Oh.
You want to wrap this up pretty quick?
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
Yeah. Russell says, this live stream needs some awesome tunes and a lot more beer.
Yeah, we might have to talk to you off of this, Russell, and figure out how you do all of that.
How you Booksfest properly. And not that we would ever try to Booksfest without you.
We could never out Booksfest.
We would never even try to Booksfest without you.
Out Booksfest.
There is one Booksfest. And is not here.
Yeah. But yeah, I hardly even got our camera connected to this today. So.
We're still like very, very young in the online
live
streaming or whatever.
Yeah. Is the forest road plowed or maintained in the winter? It's maintained by Greg.
And my very, very rough half-ton
Yeah,
Chevy.
So that'll be coming up in next weekend's video. We have some snow removal to do. So, yeah, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It takes me about 4.5 hours to clear the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard because we plow the road.
And $70 in fuel about at this point in time.
Yeah. And because we plow the road, people that recreate further up the mountain use the road, and they're on snowmobiles, they have trailers on their truck, so we have to like make a big area for them so that they don't block us. Yeah.
Quality of the stream is fantastic though. Is this on Starlink? It is on Starlink.
Yeah, and it was...
Which is crazy.
I don't know when our last live stream was, but Starlink was awful, and I always told people, like, I don't know why the heck we're paying $150 a month for this, because
we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. But
it's been really bad, and I get frustrated when people are like, oh, yay, Starlink, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's finally getting awesome for us.
It is. Well, fairly good, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure this stream has glitched out a few times.
It has, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to kind of wrap this all up, snowing in Canada.
Yeah.
It's wintertime all over the place. Yeah. It's cold up here. Winter came quite early, actually, for us. We typically don't even have snow on the ground yet, and we've had it for about a month now.
Yeah.
So
it's been challenging.
I know a lot of you have seen my scatterbrained way of building this house, but my pipes aren't freezing. My electrical is all installed, and I'm not getting electrocuted anymore, which I did 5 times before I hooked up the panel.
Yeah.
And now we can start prioritizing on the build, like prioritizing everything, and on the inside. I don't think we're even going to bother with the siding this winter, because there's just too many other things that need to be done. And if we finish building the house, we'll have to have different content, and we don't need to rush. We you know, we're comfortable in here now, and we really get to make it our home. So there's no rush. We have patience for it. So
yeah, totally.
Yep. We thank you guys for being so positive all the time. It's one of the greatest parts of doing this whole YouTube thing. And we'll try to do these live streams more. This actually was the most organic that I've ever felt doing these live streams. I usually have to like knock back a couple beer, well, even though we have, but like I'm usually a little bit weird talking to a ton of people, but
on a camera.
I'm used to it now, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for
tuning
in and for all the great questions and whatnot. Yeah. And see you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday. Saturday?
Probably Saturday, and then when you finish work, hopefully we can start posting more.
Cranking out the 2 videos a week again.
Yeah. I might make a couple shorts though with the snow removal stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Totally.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But thanks
cheers,
everyone, and we'll see you later.
See ya.